Hey, how's everybody doing? Hit the like button and subscribe if you want. We talk about all things MMA, talk about pay-per-view fights, upcoming MMA stuff, news, do fight clip highlights, post those usually about every day, every other day. But UFC 274 was last night. Two key highlights that everybody's talking about, of course, well, actually three. So the Chandler fight, the Chandler KO, which was just unbelievable. It was definitely, I agree with Rogan when he was saying it was probably one of the greatest, I don't know if he said front kick KOs or KOs that he's ever seen. I know had to have been the greatest front kick KO. Machida had one on Couture, and then Silva had one on Vitor Belfort. But this one was just, right under the chin. He was just out. I was watching it with some friends, and we were like flipping out. I thought damn near killed Ferguson. It was unbelievable, and it was a real close first round. Tony was taking it to him. He had Chandler hurt a couple times when he clipped him with that left hook. Chandler always does the same kind of move when he gets caught too. He always spins and spins out of it and tries backing up, because he'll get clipped and he'll drop and then he spins out of it to try to back out and get away. But man, what a great KO that was. It was just unbelievable. Thank God too, Tony's okay. I saw some headlines that he got released from the hospital. Had some tests done. Everything seems to be good. So he was released from the hospital. Everything seems like he's healthy and everything now. So that's good. What an amazing KO. And then Chandler, damn, he did 3 backflips. Just to even do one is freaking amazing. He did 3 or 4, I think, backflips there in the ring after the fight. That dude, I tell you, ever since he's come to the UFC, I'm almost man, he's probably one of my favorite fighters to watch now, Chandler. And I didn't watch him a whole lot when he was in Bellator. I heard about him because I know he's fought he had the belt there and had some fights with Pitbull, I think is who one of the fighters is over in Bellator, is the lightweight champion, him and his brother. And so I had heard of him, but never really watched him that much or anything. But man, since he's come to the UFC, he's one of my favorite fighters to watch. The dude's just he's fun to watch. He comes ready to fight every time. You're not going to have no that feeling out process and all that stuff. As soon as that bell rings, he's engaging 100%. He ain't feeling nothing out. He's going in 100%. So real close first round. Tony he looked really good in the first round. Like I said, had him clipped, had him hurt a couple times, had him cut. He jumped up after Chandler did get the takedown with about a minute and a half left in the first round. Was doing some ground and pound, some elbows, and I think Tony caught him with a couple elbows too, and I think cut him open again from the bottom. And then the first round ended, and Tony jumped up, smiling, walking back to his corner. Man, that's the Tony Ferguson we all know. That guy just loves getting in there. He loves to compete. He loves to fight. The guy was just, it was a great first round. Then he come out, and I think it was only, I don't even know if it was a minute, maybe not even a minute into that second round, just caught him with that front kick, and that was it. So, great fight there. And look, the Rose fight, Carla, my personal opinion, I think you should have gave Rose should have kept the belt. I believe that. I don't know how you can. She wasn't engaging. Either one of them was engaging. I think Rose, she was saying hey, that was my strategy. I was going to lay back and let her come to me, and not try to get into a grappling exchange or a grappling match with her. She was going to be a counter puncher. Let her try to come in, and she could boom, 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 piece her up, let Carla come to her. Just didn't work out that way, A lot of people after the fight, man, were talking all kinds of stuff, and even I was like, what the hell, man? She wasn't engaging or anything. But after I listened to an interview of her and thinking about it a little bit more, she just, that was the game plan going in. I think she could have got a little bit better info in between rounds, between Pat Barry and Whitman, Trevor Whitman. I think Whitman was trying to get her to engage. I think Pat was more like, hey, look, this is our game plan. This is what we're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing. I think they thought they had it won. It was a 10-10 round in the first round. Second round, you might have it just was so hard to judge those rounds. I mean, I don't know how the judges could have even judged that fight, really, because literally, like, nothing happened. There was like 6 strikes in the first round, like 20-some total in the whole entire fight, I believe. I mean, how do you judge something like that? I mean, and it went to a decision, and, that unwritten rule of you got to beat the champion to get the belt. Like, you got to take them out. If it's a close fight and it goes to a decision, it usually leans towards the champion. They usually retain their title. But I had a feeling they were going to give it to Carla. After the fight ended, I was sitting there talking with we were watching the fight and all, and I'm like, I bet you they're going to give that to Carla. I just had a feeling that was going to happen, and they did. So, I don't know where Rose goes from here. She might need another win to get a title fight and a rematch. I don't think Dana's going to do that rematch right away. I just don't think that's going to happen. Rose might get the winner of Joanna and Wei Lee, maybe. I don't know. I mean, she's already fought them a couple times too, so Rose might be in a little bit of a tough spot here because of this. Because I don't think she's going to get the rematch, and who else is there for her to fight except Joanna or Wei Lee? So we'll see how all that plays out. And then, of course, the main event, Gaethje Olivera. Man, what a freaking banger that was. Gaethje come out swinging like we all knew he would. Olivera, and this was a tell in the very beginning of the fight. Olivera came out, and he was instantly backing Gaethje up. Gaethje was instantly on his heels right away and got hurt, got stung within like the first 10 seconds of the fight. His leg went a little wobbly, and he was rocked within the first 10 or 15 seconds of that fight. Already had him on his heels. Charles came in tough, solid, was pressing him, and already backing him up as soon as they took the center of the octagon. So, but Gaethje hurt him twice too. Stung him the second knockdown. He hit him, and it almost like it took a second or two for him to realize how hurt he was, and then he went down. And then Gaethje was like, man, nah, I'm not going down on the ground with you, and let him stand back up. So, Charles is the champion in everyone's eyes. Whether or not that belt is on him or not, the way it stands right now, Charles is the champ. I think everybody can say that, and everybody would agree with that. And I see him probably fighting Islam, which that's going to be just an insane fight. Islam versus Charles, I mean, wow. That's just going to be unbelievable. But given the talent that Charles, the guys that he's beat, Chandler, Gaethje, Poirier, just in the last few fights, I mean, he's like just knocking them off, all the top guys. I think Islam is the only guy left for him to fight, unless they make the Dariush Islam fight. But then what happens if Dariush beats him? And Dariush versus Olivera, I mean, does that really do that's not going to do nothing against Dariush. The guy's a stud, he really is. He's been in the game for a while, but it's just, it wouldn't do the numbers that the Islam Olivera fight would do. It just wouldn't. From a business standpoint, you do the Islam fight all day long before the Dariush fight. Given if something was to happen, Dariush was to beat Islam, if they were to make that fight, then Dariush would get the title shot. So I see him making that fight. Oliveira's just a stud, man. He is. This dude, just his story and everything he's been through, and then everything he went through at this fight camp. And I did a video before the pay-per-view, and I was saying, like, he's going to come in there with a chip on his shoulder. He is. He's going to come in there ready to fight, ready to go. I thought he was going to submit him in the fourth. I think that's what I picked. But, man, yeah, the dude, I mean, he still won. And I had him pick the win in my pick'em, in my thing. So But yeah, what a great fight it was. Great night. Great fights. I love the UFC. I love I support it so much. That's why I get all the pay-per-views. I love the brand. I'm just a huge fan, and I got so much respect for these guys that go out there and just lay it on the line, man. They train and train and train all those months and all those years for a few minutes of glory in the ring, man. It can either go really good or really bad. So, all the respect in the world to those guys, man. Really, even the guys that lose. You'll never really hear me too much talking shit, like, on the fighters specifically, because, man, nobody knows, it takes so much heart and guts and determination. You have to be a special, special human being to do that shit for a living. You really do. And I got all the respect in the world for those guys. So, it's a great fight. If you liked the video, that'd be great. If you guys could, like it and subscribe would be cool. So I appreciate it. You guys have a good one.